Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. Another one in the series in which I'm taking a closer look at the Beatles' full discography in chronological order. Now, today we have arrived at the album after Sgt. Pepper's. And it was almost not an album? Yeah, because what the Beatles wanted to do is release some songs on a double EP format. And that is what they did. The Magical Mystery Tour was released on a double EP with a small booklet, and it was to be a companion piece to a television film which was broadcast in late 1967, I believe during Christmas. But that's interesting. The United States did not have a big market for EPs. What they did have wasn't a market for albums, so they released this one. And this is the Magical Mystery Tour, the way most of us know it. And what I'm holding here is a first US mono pressing, and it has more songs than a double EP. As a matter of fact, it has Penny Lane, it has All You Need Is Love, and it has Strawberry Fields Forever, which are not included on the original EP. This is the version we all know. This is the version that is also included in the 2014 mono box. When you listen to the mono box, the 2014 mono pressing is better than the original US mono one. So the US mono one should be considered the first original album press of the Magical Mystery Tour. The 2014 version is better, but for this video and for this chronological order, to give this album the full impact, I did not listen to this one again, because some while ago I discovered this beautiful, beautiful pressing, the Hörzu pressing. And this is a 1973 German pressing, which I've been also talking about this pressing in a Do the Beatles Sound Better on Hörzu video, which you can find on my channel. But somehow, in Germany, for an otherwise cheap label, Hörzu was considered a cheap label, I believe, just not so expensive. The mastering engineer for the German pressing on the stereo one made a beautiful pressing. He somehow got hold of the masters, did not use all the equalizing that is on the album otherwise, and this blows the head of the original mono pressing clean off. This is the way Magical Mystery Tour should be listened to. Example? Well, in my original top 5 video of the Beatles, I did not include Magical Mystery Tour. I always considered it an interesting album with some very good songs. Once you put this on, this is emotionally understandable, the next step after Sgt. Pepper's. I'm not saying it tops Sgt. Pepper's, but it does not let down. As a matter of fact, I really, really love Magical Mystery Tour. And let's start with this pressing. Now, when the album title track Magical Mystery Tour starts off on this album, it is such a beautiful, spacious audiophile treatment. You hear so much more texture, air. There is so much more sound-wise going on, and this album really profits from that. Because the trippiness, the weirdness, the fun, the exploration, it's all in the sound of this. After Magical Mystery Tour, you get the song The Fool on the Hill, which I find a beautiful, beautiful intimate song, and also it sounds so good on this pressing. A beautiful melody. Flying and Blue Jay Way are often considered by Beatles fans as unnecessary songs. Well, I really disagree. Magical Mystery Tour creates a certain flow. And there are some people who judge albums by, does it have hit singles? Does it have songs which have great hit potential? Now, Flying and Blue Jay Way are not songs I would put on out of context. But in the flow of this record, they really do the job. And they have a beautiful melody. I mean, it sometimes gets stuck in my head. Now, by the way, talking about singles, just singles, what I just said, in comparison to Sgt. Pepper's, this album kills it with single songs. I mean, Magical Mystery Tour, The Fool on the Hill, Your Mother Should Know, oh. I think that's one of the most beautiful and often overlooked Beatles songs. Also the fifth song on this album. And then, after Your Mother Should Know, great, beautiful, nostalgic masterpiece. Really love it. You get I Am the Walrus. By the way, which has on this pressing, No You're Not, said little Nicola. Or as John Lennon said, the walrus was Paul. But that's a discussion for another album. I'm the Walrus is a masterpiece. It is a great, big masterpiece. That's just side one. Just side one. Then you go to side two. Hello, Goodbye. Stroke of genius. Brilliant song. After that, Strawberry Fields Forever. I'm going to repeat myself. Masterpiece of a song. After that, Penny Lane. Fucking hell. Those are epic, gorgeous songs. They're all on here. And then you think, well, we're done. No. Baby, You're a Rich Man. Which is a good song. It's not a stroke of masterpiece. It's not a stroke of brilliance. It's not a masterpiece. But it's a very nice tune. And the sound quality. I mean, they were experimenting with sounds here. The experimentation with sounds often contributed to Sgt. Pepper's. And all credit to Pepper's. I love that album. I mean, listening to that is a religious experience. But they're doing some very interesting and important stuff over here, which do carry out these songs and give them an own identity. And you can hear it on Baby, You're a Rich Man. But to end it off with All You Need Is Love, I mean, I get goosebumps and sometimes tears when I'm listening to that song. And the quality of that guitar. Again, on this pressing, I just love this pressing. But Magical Mystery Tour is a masterpiece. And it is so unfair it's overlooked. But for me, the main reason it is overlooked is because it's tough to follow up Sgt. Pepper's, and it's tough to be in between Sgt. Pepper's and the White Album. But I think that if they would not have released it like this, or like this, but if the world would have had a Magical Mystery Tour like this, it would have the reputation an Abbey Road has. I'm that serious. This is Abbey Road Revolver quality. As a matter of fact, I think this Hörzu pressing even sounds better. This might sound very elitist or dédain to say, so I'm not gonna say it out. I'm gonna rephrase it before I say it wrong. But to me, the first time I really experienced Magical Mystery Tour, and it really got me emotionally involved, was when I heard this. If you come across one, do yourself a favor, because it will bring a Beatles album to life. So, that's my review of Magical Mystery Tour. Next week I'll have another video and I'll be talking about the White Album. See you then, and I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video.